What is going on, guys? It is WrestleMania here, back with another video. Just before we get into the video, don't forget to like or dislike the video, subscribe, turn on notifications and leave a comment down below. Wrestling fans know what being future endeavored means. Adios to the WWE. However, wrestlers' lives go on, even after they leave the WWE. As always, WrestleMania digs up the dirt on where these men and women have gone. Here are 11 recently fired WWE wrestlers and where they are now. Number 1. Adam Rose. NXT can provide wrestlers a chance to learn the WWE style, but success in NXT is no guarantee of success on the main roster. Raymond Lepin enjoyed a good run in NXT as mercenary Leo Kruger, followed by an energetic program as the party-hardy performer Adam Rose. Unfortunately for him, he became a party pooper as he just couldn't get over in the WWE despite the presence of his fans known as the Rosebuds. Rose was recently released in May 2016 following 2 wellness policy violations and an arrest for domestic violence. He initially hit the indie circuit, but in 2017 he announced he was retiring from the squared circle, tweeting, "This will be my last year wrestling. Thank you to those who got it. Thank you even more to those who didn't. You pushed me harder. Much love." Number 2. Eva Marie. Fitness model Natalie Coyle signed with the WWE in 2013, appearing on its Total Divas program while she trained to become a wrestler. Eva began wrestling as part of a storyline involving the women of Total Divas against the so-called True Divas, established women on the WWE main roster. She faced complaints her wrestling was not up to par and she was sent to NXT for further training. She eventually returned to the main roster in 2016, including an appearance at WrestleMania 32. However, as she began pursuing more options outside the WWE, it seemed clear she was on her way out. Last August, Eva Marie revealed she and the WWE were parting ways. Despite her departure, she told Rolling Stone she had no hard feelings despite being thrown into action before training properly. Yes, for sure, the inner athlete and perfectionist in me wishes I was able to train the multiple years these wrestlers are able to before they get onto TV. However, if that opportunity never came up, then I would not have been put in front of the WWE universe, dyed my hair, been put in front of my team. Everything happens for a reason. For me, it all played out pretty damn good. Since then, she has focused on her fashion line and her Hollywood career. She appeared in last July's Inconceivable and is currently filming the comedy Action Number 1. Number 3. The Brooklyn Brawler. Perennial jobber to the stars Steve Lombardi entertained WWE fans over 30 years, helping to put over wrestlers as Steve Lombardi, then as the Brooklyn Brawler, who Bobby the Brain Heenan repackaged so that he could get revenge on his former client Terry the Red Rooster Taylor. While the Brawler worked as enhancement talent, he had the opportunity of a lifetime when he won a 20-man battle royal that led to a WWF Championship match with WWF Champion Shawn Michaels in Madison Square Garden. The match went 15 minutes until interference from Triple H and China sealed the Brawler's fate, giving Michaels the win. In his later years, Lombardi had worked in producing promos, with aspiring wrestlers having to impress Lombardi. In 2016, the wrestling world was shocked when Lombardi was released from the WWE. Nobody knows the reason for Lombardi's departure, although there was speculation he incurred the WWE's wrath by calling into Taz's radio show. But Lombardi has kept quiet, continuing to praise his former employer. He now runs an independent promotion in Michigan and is working on his autobiography. Number 4. Simon Gotch. One half of the tag team The Vaudevillains, Seth Lesser, never found the success he and Aiden Church enjoyed on NXT. After a year on the main roster, the WWE released GOTCH. He commented on his release, "It was one of those things where I was unhappy, and they basically felt like the character had run its course. I said I agree, and they said they wanted to exercise the termination clause in my contract. I agreed with that as well, and we went from there. This wasn't exactly an unwanted thing on my part. I wasn't happy, and I actually felt that was the best move. In any situation, sometimes if you see the opportunity, you take it." Lesser now works on the indie circuit as Simon Grimm, but he admits his status as a former WWE superstar is no guarantee of continued success. "I'm kinda living and dying on my own sword at this point. With the WWE machine, it's very easy to go out there and do your thing. One bad match isn't going to break you, but now companies are going out of their way, and some are companies that don't necessarily have a lot of money to invest in you, and you have to deliver on that investment. So far, the former Simon Gotch appears to be doing well, having recently appeared at Chikara's King of Trios tournament. Number 5. Rosa Mendes. Mendes was signed to a WWE developmental deal in 2006 after making it to the final 8 of the 2006 Diva Search contest. She debuted as an overzealous Beth Phoenix fan, attacking Phoenix opponent Melina during a December 2008 episode of Raw. Mendes would wrestle, manage, and even appear as one of Fandango's dancers. While she never won any championship gold, she enjoyed her WWE career, stating in a 2017 interview with WWE.com, "This is such a positive thing, because I've been with the WWE, the best company in the world, for 10 years. I've been able to perform in front of thousands and thousands of people for so many years, and not a lot of people can say that. I need to thank my family. I couldn't have made this decision without them. I needed them and they were there. I've got to thank Vince McMahon for giving me the opportunity to do what I loved for so many years." In February 2017, she announced her retirement so that she could spend time with her 1-year-old daughter and focus on her new business. "I want to create a legacy by teaching people about nutrition and how to take care of themselves, and I want to be there for my daughter. Realistically, being gone more than 300 days out of the year, it's hard to be a mother and have your own business at the same time. I think it would be impossible for me to give 100% to my daughter and my business, and you have to give 150% when you're in the WWE, so it was a very hard decision." Number 6. Austin Aries. Aries established himself on the independent circuit, eventually becoming a top star in Ring of Honor and TNA World Champion. Always in demand thanks to his incredible ring work, Aries worked in Dragon Gate USA, as well as helping the Japanese promotion's efforts to establish a promotion in America. In 2016, he entered the WWE, working in NXT before joining the new program 205 Live. He began wrestling Cruiserweight Champion Neville, hoping to append the champion. He wrestled Neville again at WrestleMania 33's pre-show, but failed to win the belt, faring no better at the Payback and Extreme Rules pay-per-views. In July, Aries was released from the WWE, but he seemed content with his departure, cultivating a new look by shaving his head and beard. His memoir Food Fight was released in 2017, and Aries' non-compete clause with the WWE ended in October, allowing him to wrestle wherever he chooses. Number 7. Tajiri. Yoshihiro Tajiri could easily have claimed to being one of the most successful Japanese wrestlers in the WWE. During his tenure in the company, he was a 3-time Cruiserweight Champion, a 2-time Tag Champion, United States Champion, as well as Light Heavyweight Champion. Whether he played a foreign heel or provided comedy alongside William Regal, he had a number of memorable moments during his time there. In June 2016, Tajiri made his return to the WWE after 11 years, competing in the Cruiserweight Classic tournament, but was eliminated in the second round. In January of this year, Tajiri suffered a knee injury, and even after a number of weeks' recovery, he announced his departure in April, after revealing he felt at his age, his knees were not as strong as they once were. Following his departure, he returned to Japan, announcing his return to All Japan Pro Wrestling, where he currently holds the World Junior Heavyweight Championship. Number 8. Jack Swagger. Some fans might be surprised to learn the All-American Jack Swagger worked for the WWE for 10 years before parting ways in March 2017. Like several of the names on our list, Swagger's career had run hot and cold, with Swagger winning the Money in the Bank ladder match at WrestleMania 26 and cashing it in to win the World Heavyweight Championship from Chris Jericho. An uneventful and short reign as champion was followed by one inconsistent push after another. In a June 2017 interview, Swagger revealed the WWE wanted to re-up his contract for 5 more years, but with no significant pay increase. Swagger felt it was time to move on, and began the journey of building himself back up, and can now be found on the independent circuit. He appeared on House of Hardcore's Australian tour, and worked a match with WWE rival Alberto El Patron in Federation Universal de la Lucha Libre. Number 9. DAMIEN SANDOW. Sandow was one of many rising stars the WWE Universe got behind, but WWE Creative put no consistent effort into, frustrating fans through no fault of Sandow's. After a great run as The Miz's stunt double, he parted ways with The Miz, seemingly on his way to the top. However, things fizzled with Sandow losing his feud with The Miz and spiraling to the bottom of the WWE roster. The WWE released Sandow in May 2016, with insiders speculating the WWE wanted to cut costs and make room for new talent. Although he had been released before, this departure was frustrating given his talent and popularity with the fans. The WWE's loss became TNA's gain. In August 2016, he debuted in TNA as Aaron Flux, eventually winning the Impact Grand Championship tournament to become the inaugural champion. He continued with Impact until April 2017 when he announced he was taking time off to focus on his acting. He recently completed his appearance in the upcoming film Public Disturbance and has an upcoming appearance in the TV series Fifth Quarter. Number 10. Cody Rhodes. Cody Runnels began working in the WWE's developmental territory, Ohio Valley Wrestling, in 2006 before debuting on Raw in July 2007. Runnels worked as Cody Rhodes, starting a feud with Randy Orton that involved Cody's legendary dad, the American Dream Dusty Rhodes. The feud turned into a partnership as Cody turned heel, joining Ted DiBiase Jr. as Orton's henchman, The Legacy. Although Cody's WWE career was marked by his success, he never achieved the main event push he worked so hard for. After transforming into Stardust, a homage to his dad who was nicknamed Stardust, Rhodes teamed with brother Dustin aka Goldust, but Cody grew tired of his WWE career and asked for his release in May 2016. Following his release, Cody hit the independent scene, working for a variety of promotions including Pro Wrestling Guerrilla and What Culture Pro Wrestling. In 2016, Cody began working in both Ring of Honor and TNA, eventually signing with Ring of Honor. Frank Sinatra once said the best revenge is massive success, and Cody has shown he hasn't let his past hold back his future, even with the WWE refusing to let him use the name Cody Rhodes. Cody has won the Ring of Honor World Championship and the 6-Man Tag Team Championship. He also works in New Japan Pro Wrestling as the American Nightmare, a member of the prestigious Bullet Club. And number 11, Wade Barrett. Stuart Bennett exploded on the scene when he led the Nexus, a group of NXT wrestlers in an invasion of the WWE. The Nexus was thrust into a main event program with some of the WWE's biggest stars, even forcing John Cena into joining the group. The Nexus seemed to be the high point of Barrett's career, and while the former bare-knuckle boxer won the Intercontinental Championship 5 times, his WWE pushes were so haphazard they meant little, including his 2015 win of the King of the Ring tournament. In June 2016, Barrett opted not to renew his WWE contract and was granted an early release. Although he announced he was taking time off from wrestling, he has made limited appearances at indie shows, including an appearance for general manager for What Culture Pro Wrestling's Refuse to Lose show in Newcastle on 2nd October. He has appeared in films such as WWE Studios Eliminators, UK horror comedy Fanged Up, and has an appearance in the upcoming film Vengeance. Well guys, there you have it, 11 recently released WWE superstars and what they're up to now. Be sure to leave your comments below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.